gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Rubber Sports Show. The NWA 70th Anniversary Show. Like I've said before in other wrestling videos, I've been trying to watch a lot more professional wrestling here in 2018, kind of get the world of professional wrestling. I've watched WWE, obviously NXT, Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, New Japan, Progress, Defiant, a World Series of Wrestling International of Assault out of Australia, Defy Wrestling, who else have I watched? Game Changer Wrestling, NWA Wrestling, AAA Wrestling out of Mexico, Smash Wrestling out of Canada. I mean, just so much different companies I've watched wrestling with this year. I've seen over 1,800 professional wrestling matches here in 2018, and I'm still not caught up. I'm like 3 weeks behind WWE stuff. So yeah, I got a lot more to watch. A lot that I just still want to watch from earlier this year, trying to catch up. Obviously, going into 2019, I have access to these streaming sites. I have the ability to watch a lot more professional wrestling than I ever have before. I started late in 2018. I started in June trying to watch a lot of this stuff. Trying to catch up from the beginning of the year, which I shouldn't have done. I should have just started right there. But hey, you know what? I've seen some great professional wrestling matches. I've seen some great companies. Here's another one, the NWA, their 70th anniversary show from Memphis, Tennessee, or Nashville, Tennessee, excuse me, from the Asylum. The history of that building was unfucking believable. Listen to Jim Cornette on commentary, just talking about the history of the NWA, the history of the building of the Asylum, which if you're a professional wrestling fan and you were a professional wrestling fan in the early 2000s, you know that's where TNA got its start, in the Asylum, in Nashville, before moving to Florida, currently known as Impact Wrestling. So yeah, the NWA dates back to 1948. The who's who of professional wrestling has wrestled for the NWA at one point in time or held their titles. The NWA was part of Impact Wrestling the early years. They were part of WCW the early years. Jim Crockett Productions the early years. The early years that WWE was involved with the NWA. So a lot of what we watch in professional wrestling today can look back and go, okay, we got this from the NWA. The NWA began in 1948. So what we know as professional wrestling, the NWA had a hand in. So it's great to be able to watch their 70th anniversary show. We had a brand new title created. We had the NWA National title created. It's kind of along the lines of the U.S. title, the Intercontinental title from WWE, the Atlas title in Progress, kind of that upper level mid-card title. So yeah, definitely the NWA National title. We had 2 Fatal 4-Way number 1 contender match elimination matches. The winners of the winner of each of those Fatal 4-Ways went on to the finals to win this coveted NWA National title. First match on the card was one of the Fatal 4-Ways. We had Colt Cabana, boom boom, formerly CM Punk's best friend, versus Sammy Guevara, which is a breakout star from Major League Wrestling. Just that next generation of the Lucha Libre cruiserweight style wrestlers versus Scorpio Sky, 1/3 of SoCal Uncensored from Ring of Honor, New Japan, versus Samuel Shaw. Don't know a lot about Samuel Shaw. From this match, powerful, brute kind of wrestler. He just goes out there and just wants to power over everyone. Fatal 4-Way elimination match rules here. So multiple pinfalls going on. We had Sammy Guevara doing his Lucha Libre style dives outside the ring, some of the 450s and whatnot. We had Samuel Shaw got the first pin, first elimination on Boom Boom, Colt Cabana. Colt Cabana, fan favorite. Everybody wants to see Boom Boom do well. I've actually talked to him in person multiple times. I've seen him at a Ring of Honor show, and I've seen him at the WrestleMania weekend at the the show we went to, WrestleMania weekend, and not Access. Oh my God! Wow, right out of my mind. You know that stuff you have on your tip of your tongue, and it's like gone, 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 gone. So yeah, WrestleCon. That's it. So yeah, I got to see him there. My buddy Ryan, our buddy Ryan, my nephew, his best friend Ryan. Yeah, hugged Colt Cabana twice. Yeah, and you got to talk to him again at the WrestleCon, so that was cool. So yeah, Samuel Shaw getting a pin on Cabana for the first elimination. Steven Cavaro did this kind of dive the outside, got caught, missed. Scorpio gets him in the ring, pins him. So the final two is Scorpio Sky and Samuel Shaw. Shaw gets the pinfall on Scorpio Sky to move on to the finals for the national title match. I gave this match 3.5. It was good, just a little short. A lot of these matches were short except for the main event, which is understandable, but give some more time. The next match especially. Laredo Kid versus Barrett Brown. I've seen Laredo Kid a couple matches, I think, over this year. Barrett Brown, I don't think I've ever seen before. Both of these guys talented the Lucha Libre style, which I absolutely love in professional wrestling. I want to see either one of these guys face like a Will Ospreay or a Ricochet type. I mean, that's how I think they could hang with one of those guys. So yeah, definitely a great match. Laredo Kid did a 450 off the ring side on the floor, which you don't see very often because it's going to hurt both people. Definitely you can see the way Laredo Kid hit. It's like, woo. Barrett Brown went to do this inverted hurricanrana, and just listen to Jim Cornette just mark out. Like, oh my God, he did an inverted hurricanrana. That's great. You can both of you land on your neck again. It's like, oh my God, Jim Cornette, that is awesome. So yeah, I mean, he did this inverted hurricanrana. Didn't end well. Kid went to do Laredo Kid went to do a corkscrew splash. Brown run out of the way. Ended up getting the pinfall victory. I give it 3 3/4. Short but good. If it would get another 5-10 minutes, it would have been definitely over 4 for sure. Next, we had the other Fatal 4-Way match for the number 1 contender match for the NWA National Title. The new NWA National Title was actually presented by WWE Hall of Famer Magnum TA, which was kind of cool to see. Some of the old timers there. Jeff Jarrett was there, Jim Cornette. Tony Schiavone came in and announced the main event. I grew up watching, in the mid-90s, watching, didn't really grow up, I was an adult. But I grew up, 17, 18 years old, started watching professional wrestling in 95. I grew up watching and listening to Tony Schiavone in WCW, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I found Major League Wrestling and MLW Fusion on YouTube, and it's on Belton Sports, something like that, which I don't get, but it's on YouTube. So I've been watching a lot of NWL Fusion. Tony Schiavone is one of my favorite announcers of all time. Anyway, so we had this Fatal 4-Way. We had Ricky Starks versus Mike Ferraro versus Jay Bradley versus Willie Mack. Ricky Starks, I've seen kind of a little spot matches here and there. Mike Ferraro, I've seen him on Evolve. I've seen him on Major League Wrestling. Jay Bradley, I know I've seen the name before, but I don't recall what promotion. Willie Mack, I've seen him on TNA. I've seen him, or Impact Wrestling, excuse me. I've seen him in Major League Wrestling. I've seen him in Lucha Underground. So yeah, we had mostly the power guys in this match. Starks ended up getting kind of a iffy pin on Mike Ferraro. Ferraro's shoulder was coming up as the referee counted 3. The referee was kind of on the other side, didn't really see it. So it's like, alright, it's kind of, is that the way the night's going to go? Willie Mack gets a pin on Jay Bradley, brings down to Ricky Starks and Willie Mack. Mack had the power advantage over Starks, ended up getting the victory there. So we have Willie Mack versus Samuel Shaw for the national title. I gave this match 3. It wasn't overly good, it wasn't overly bad, it was overly short. The next match, Peter Avalon versus Tim Storm. Tim Storm, former NWA champion. Peter Avalon, just a skinny little, just reminded me of an older James Ellsworth, that type. These two were kind of like back and forth, and I guess Avalon beat Storm a few times, and Avalon grabs the mic and was like, if you beat me, you can kiss my foot, and all these people can kiss my foot, blah, 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 blah. I wouldn't even listen. I was fast forward at this point. Tim Storm gets on the mic and says something stupid too, so they made it a kiss my foot match. Yeah. It was a match. I give it 2 3/4. Tim Storm won. I fast forward through the kiss my foot shit. I didn't really give a shit. It was late. So I said fuck it and just fast forward through it. Next we had the NWA Women's Title match. We had champion Jazz, former WWE Women's Champion, has held the NWA Women's Title 766 days. As Jim Cornette said, 766 days. For my calculations, that's more than 2 years. Yeah, Jimmy, you're right about that. Wow. Versus Penelope Ford. This match was just not really good. Yeah. There was a referee botch. It was Earl and his son Brian were the 2 referees during the whole most of the show. Earl did this, counted 1, 2, hit Jazz as he's counting the 3rd time, fucked his count up and stopped. So it's like, okay, the match was supposed to end there, and they were like, oh fuck, now what do we do? So it just continued for a little bit, and either that, or she was supposed to kick out and didn't, I don't know. But you could see this clear botch going on. Jazz ended up winning by submission, continuing her 766-day title run. I gave it 2 3/4. It was nothing to, really write home about. Next, we had the NWA National Title match. We have Samuel Shaw versus Willie Mack. These two kind of more powerful guys going after each other. Willie Mack doing a little bit of flying, a little bit leaving his feet. Shaw went to do a super kick, which Samuel Shaw shouldn't be doing super kicks. I'm sorry, it looked horrible. He missed. Willie Mack hit the stunner. 1, 2, 3. Willie Mack, your first ever NWA National Champion. And I give it 3.5. So it wasn't a horrible match, but it wasn't good either. Next, we had what was kind of billed as a open challenge type match, tag team match. We had the Workings, which is Jane Dax and Crimson, with their manager Animal, Road Warrior Animal. I'm like, oh, that's what Road Warrior is doing these days. He's my buddy. I used to run into him at Walmart once in a while. I've actually run into him a total of 3 times at Walmart, and I talked to him each time. The first time I talked to him, I was at the self-check at Walmart. He walked by. I'm going, nah, there's no way that's Animal. God damn it, I gotta know. So I started working into our customer service, and he was walking back up, and I just had a Kevin Owens shirt on. And I just looked at him and smiled, and he's kind of smiling. I was like, hi. He's like, hi. And I go, I know you. He's like, you do? I was like, yeah, I've seen you on TV. He goes, on TV? He goes, who am I? And I go, Road Warrior Animal. Yeah, so him and I talked wrestling for a little bit, which was kind of cool. He actually gave me an autographed picture of him and Hawk, which was even more cooler. So yeah, it was kind of neat to see him there. And next time I seen him, you could tell he wanted to be recognized, but he didn't want to. It's like, I want to be recognized. I want you to, acknowledge who I am, but then leave me the fuck alone. That kind of, which I get. I mean, he's probably been recognized so much, but it's kind of nice to see, I guess, a different generation recognize who he is. So yeah, the next time I ran into him, I called him by his first name. His name's Joe. So I called him, like, hey Joe. And he's like, of course I had a Seth Rollins. No, I think I had a Seth Rollins shirt on the first time. Kevin on the second. Whatever. I had a wrestling shirt on, and he just kind of smiled, acknowledged, and said hi. He's how So that was kind of neat. The first time I talked to him, he was talking. I asked him what he was doing these days, and he said he was working with Shane Douglas, doing some stuff, and that they were looking to. I guess he was looking to form a tag team and bring back kind of the tag team division back up in professional wrestling, and he's looking for the next great tag team. Of course, I started mentioning some of the indie guys like the Young Bucks and etc., and he just kind of laughed. And I mean, he's still affiliated with WWE a little bit and does stuff. And I mentioned this back when Kaz and Enzo were together, and we were kind of back and forth a little bit about professional wrestling. So now I see him here. I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. The Workings, Jane Dax and Crimson. They had a match against the Kingdom of Joe Cephas. Joe Cephas comes out. He's like this preacher kind of guy, and he has these 2 women with him. And these 2 women can beat you guys, blah, 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 blah. We're like, okay, this cannot be fucking happening. You're not going to have, most companies don't want to do the intergender kind of deal like this. Because, it kind of can get a little, little squirmy, a little ugly at times. But as they're doing this promo on the stage, of course, obviously, Animal and the War Kings are facing the stage. They get jumped behind from Crazy Steve, formerly X Division champion in Impact Wrestling, and the Shane Moore, formerly the Jeff and Matt Hardy's best buddy. They get jumped from the War Kings get jumped from behind. So we have a match. We have War Kings versus Shane Moore and Crazy Steve. It was a crazy match. The War Kings actually a pretty good tag team, I think. I gave it 3 stars. I mean, it wasn't horrible, wasn't great. It was about 5 minutes long. And then we had the main event, the rematch from All In Chicago for the NWA World Title champion Cody versus former champion Nick Aldis. With the stipulation, 2 out of 3 falls for the 10 pounds of gold, the NWA title. Alright, cool. Cody obviously had Brandy at ringside, just like at All In. So Nick Aldis decided to have him somebody at ringside to kind of even out the whole Brandy thing. He brings out Carmella King. If you don't know who Carmella King was, I didn't either before this match started. She looks kind of like a young, big Amazon kind of woman. Obviously bigger than Cody. Looks kind of, blonde, attractive, muscles that would really just kick your ass and talk to you kind of woman. So yeah, it's like, okay. Yeah, she tired of her poor Brandy. It's like, oh my God. She go out there and, WWE had, what the hell is her name? Oh God, she died of drugs a few years back. I don't remember her name. Kind of this Amazon looking woman. Kind of like a bodyguard. I don't even remember her name anymore. But anyway, she was out there to kind of offset Brandy. The match was good. 2 out of 3 falls. First fall, it went to Nick Aldis by submission over Cody. Aldis put Cody in the not sharpshooter, but the cloverleaf, kind of like cloverleaf type move. Cody ended up tapping real quick, which in 2 out of 3 falls you do that. If you're in the middle of the ring and you're in a submission move and you ain't moving, you just tap, get out of it. Cody jumped up, ready to go for the next fall, which Cody had already done some figure 4s on Nick, so Nick's knees were kind of already shaky. So it's kind of like Nick did this kind of I need a break. There was a minute break in between each fall. Cody jumped up, ready to go. Aldis wasn't, and you could even tell that. So even after the fall, when the bell rang again for the next fall to start, Nick got out of the ring, kind of walked around, went and got a bottle of water, poured it, needed a break. Another 10 seconds or so. So Cody does a dive outside the freaking ring on Nick. So the second fall was ref by Earl Hebner. The first fall was ref by Brian, second by Earl, and the third by Brian. He's kind of back and forth. Earl let this match go. Aldis throws Rhodes into the railing and over into the fans. They kind of start fighting to the fans. They fight over by the concession stand. Cody got a Coke out of the Coke machine, fountain soda, and threw it in the face of Nick because Nick looked thirsty, I guess. They go up into the crowd a little bit, which I guess it was kind of get out in the crowd kind of moment. Trash cans got thrown at each other, so we're like, okay, really? There was a table in the ring at one point. Of course, some former champions come down, along with Colt Cabana, Tim Storm, and some other people come to the ringside with some other referees. Don't know why they were out there, but they were. They pull the table out of the ring. Nick sets the table up on the outside, throws Cody on it. By this time, Brian Hebner got sick of everybody ringside, and with Brandy getting involved and Carmella King getting involved, he finally just kicked everyone out. Made it more one-on-one at this point. Nick went to do this I would say it wasn't a phoenix, but it was kind of a flip kind of dive off the top rope. Right through the table, because Cody moved. You're like, okay, this is it. Then it had some quick little pinfall kickouts. And then, it really didn't have a lot of, spots. It just had a few things here and there. Nick getting the first fall. And on that second fall, Nick went to do a quick roll up. Cody was able to shift his weight and got a clean pinfall there. So Cody gets the second pinfall. So sorry, the shift weight was later. He gets a quick pinfall there. Cody does. So it's up 1-1. So now we go to the third fall. Third fall was a little cleaner than the second one. It was in the ring. That's when the table spot happened. Was during the third fall. Nick gets Cody, or Cody gets Nick into the ring. Cody does this just normal. He didn't hit the crossroads, but he went in kind of a similar move of it. Went to pin Nick. 1-2. Nick rolls over, and they get the 1-2-3. And Nick Aldis becomes your new NWA World Heavyweight Champion. It was kind of a letdown the way it ended. It didn't end with a submission from Nick. It didn't end with a big moment. It ended more like kind of like one of the falls should have been during like the first or second fall. A little roll up kind of. It's like, what? So obviously the NWA is setting up for all this Cody 3. Cody won the first one. Nick won the second one. My assumption would be there's going to be a third one. Dusty Rhodes was a 2 or 3-time NWA champion. I think, and this is very short, from April to October. So very short, not April, June, 1st of June. June to October. So I can see them doing a third one and then kind of like a last man standing type match. So then maybe coming down somewhere along the line. But I give it 4 1/4. It was good, entertaining. I enjoyed the match. I enjoyed the whole show. If you get a chance to go on the Fight TV app and get this show, I would do it. It's worth watching. So yeah, definitely good show overall. Kind of some new faces I've never seen before. Some people I've seen before, kind of in different roles. So we have the new NWA National Title crowned. We have a new NWA World Champion. So yeah, this wraps up the NWA 70th anniversary review. As always, thanks for watching the Rubber Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Rubber Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.